Welcome to day 3 of This Will Not Kill You. This is your bravery challenge for 8 days. And I just wanted to let people know that if you are a day or so behind, don't worry. I'm going to allow this group to stay open for an extra week. So just take it day by day, but really do attempt to show up every day from the day that you started. So I'm also allowing late entries anytime this week, and I'll facilitate and continue to coach throughout next week as well. Just ensuring that everyone has time to really drop in and get synced up with the challenges anytime this week. What I'm also really wanting to feel from you guys is that you are playing at your edge. I want you to be excited. I want you to be a little bit, oh my God, oh shit, can I? In question as to whether or not you're gonna land what you are attempting. You are the ones who are gonna really feel that breaking open and expanding into something truly exhilarating. There's a reason you came here. There's a reason that you said yes to my call out. And whenever I put a call out, I speak to people who are brave, who are authors, who are ready to create a ripple, who are looking for something unconventional, who are desiring a container that is ludicrous, absurd, wild, ingenious. So if you're waiting for someone else to do the crazy thing, if you're waiting for someone else to do the hugely, deeply daring thing, you be the one. You be the one to lead this container to the extremities that it can reach. I don't want to set that as a precedent that people have to be screaming and bleeding and almost passing out, because it can be subtle. And I understand for some of us it is the mundanities, it is the balancing the books, or it is having daily discipline of showing up at a particular time with consistency that is the challenge, rather than spur of the moment spontaneous outbreaks. But if that is your edge, then really work it this week. If it's about discipline, then why not set your alarm clock for like 5:30 and get up and stand up and do a push-up and go back to bed, or really push yourself to see how stringent and exacting you can be with your discipline. I really want you to feel alive. I want you to be excited. If there are a lot of other things on your plate this week, I would encourage you to look at this half an hour that you spend on this challenge as an invigoration, as a deeply nurturing and expansive process, which can then feed everything else you do for the rest of the day. Let's do it. Let's really mean what we say and put it into action. And I want you to ensure that you give yourself a new experience this week. Don't just come in with an idea of like, cool, I know this is what I'm going to do by Sunday and it'll be fine, and I'll put this out, or I'll do this thing, or I'll eat this food, or I'll do this, exercise regime, and then just plod along and then do the thing that you knew you were going to do and it was kind of good. I'm not interested in that. I don't want our relationship, because we're building a relationship. This is you and I stepping into a container and seeing what we as sparring partners can bring about. So I want you to blow your own head off. Metaphorically, I want you to completely infuse your life with a gasp, I want you to feel it. I want you to step into the unknown. I want you to have a new experience where this challenge is a catalyst that pushes you into an unknown and delivers to you knowledge through direct experience, where you do something you haven't done and you learn what the world does in response. It's not theory. I want you to have a visceral, embodied, real world experience of something new. Cool? All right, that's my little pep talk. So, today's challenge has the theme of sex. Now, when we look at sex, obviously there's certain restrictions and taboo around what that is. I think that a lot of work is being done in the conscious community to remove stigma and to be really sex positive. But it's not just the sex act, it's not just the romantic intimacy that I'm looking at focusing on today. It's also our creative potential. It's our sensation and our feeling. It's our willingness to step forward with a penetrative energy and saying, this is what I want to get done. I want to step in. I want to work with you. I want to involve you in this project. I want to get to know you in this way. It's that leadership quality of starting something, of seeding something. It's the dance, the wrestling wrangle of getting up sweaty and close and feeling ourselves infused with people we are either working with or in a relationship with. It's that juicy space. When we're in that relationship, there can often be a desire to be approved of, to be desired, to be liked. Because if we're not liked, if we're not attractive, if we're not charismatic, if we don't magnetize that partner, we won't get to play the game, whether that be a relationship or a business thing or someone buying your product, whatever it is. So sometimes we can be very careful about being beautiful, being palatable. And this dichotomy of beauty and ugliness, this duality, is something that I find really therapeutic to play with. So today's challenge is to present yourself, to show up in your particular area of focus and deliver beauty. Some people are more comfortable being attractive, being well presented, being polished, being beautiful, and they might present that way frequently. So this will be easy for you. However, you might be more uncomfortable with ugliness. So I'm also challenging you to show up in your space in an ugly way. Do something which feels either abrasive, blunt, which feels like gratuitous, too much information. I want you to get raw and truthful, but I want you to do something or show up in a way that you usually would guard others against. We are often trying to filter and mediate and put makeup on and in many ways reduce the pungent punch of the actuality so it's more palatable. So that's the challenge, to show up in your space and deliver both beauty and ugliness. If you want to do this in your relationship, you might first set the container. Cool, I'm gonna actually now dance for you. I'm gonna sing for you. And often we'll find one or the other easier. It can be just as difficult to be beautiful as it is ugly. To really stand and sincerely say, I'm going to deliver something that's gorgeous, that's exquisite, that's elegant. Often we want to laugh that off. We want to almost cut our own legs off before we dance so that people don't point and ridicule us when we fail at being great. So there we go, beauty and ugliness. When we look at our keystone step for today, it's rewild. So once again, in your area of focus, whatever that is for you this week, I want you to set up a container where your senses are stimulated, you've got maybe textures around, you've got music on, you're wearing something that feels like it's breaking the rules. And I want you to allow yourself to get into a state of complete unminded action, complete instinctive indulgence. I want you to get into a place and move and taste and articulate, to create, to hum, to moan, to strum, to poeticize, to look in the eyes, to wrestle, to get up and to not know ahead of time. When we come into the inner child, or when we come into the inner beast, we learn through direct engagement. We go up to the corner and we run our finger along the dust and cobwebs and maybe taste it. We look at our own body. We give ourselves permission to explore the terrain rather than just knowing about and therefore bringing ourselves to a foregone conclusion. Whew. What a wonderful, sweaty, passionate day. If you have also a particular need, a particular desire, a particular aspect of sexuality that you have not explored, I'd also encourage you to rewild that for yourself today. It might be completely by yourself in your own sanctuary. It might be with your lover. But let's really start to unpack this pivotal part of the human experience. It's an amazing place of self-discovery, to be in complete rewilded abandon, to allow ourselves to be witnessed in our sweaty muck of humanness, to be accepted and welcomed in all of the ways that we are told we need to hem, we need to clip, we need to spray, to deodorize, to scrub. It's like we are meant to be ashamed of our humanness. And so I'd challenge us all to meet our partners and meet our own bodies without judgment and instead with curiosity, to really come to terms, to look at your body, to touch your body, to breathe in. And there's a practice that my partner and I do called bliss tracking, which means when we can't really feel, when we're not really activated, when the theater of sex is removed, when we don't have to perform for the other, we don't have to continually reassure the other that we're turned on, we're enjoying it. But instead, when we silence that and come into our real guttural response, if we're not really feeling it, where is there aliveness? And we come to stillness and we breathe and we track the bliss in our body through even the little flicker of sensation. And we breathe into that space. And it's like stoking a flame. Allow it to grow, allow that to move, and draw that through breath up into your core. Allow it to tingle, allow it to blossom and bloom. And allow that energy and aliveness to come back into these moments of self-realization, whether it be sexual, or whether it be creative, whether it be meeting someone to propose a new project. Allow that true engagement and aliveness and excitement to be present in your body as you meet the world. So it's a very exciting day. It could be taboo, it might be new ground for you. But it's basically recalibrating our relationship with our inner chi, with our zing, our zap, with our creative potential. Coming to terms with a full spectrum from beauty to ugliness, and then letting it loose through a rewilding session, and allow the process to teach you. Really learn of yourself. Catch yourself unaware in a moment when you're coming undone. Happy rewilding.